7 Signs of being a Lightworker. Lightworkers are uniquely gifted, powerful individuals who have the capacity to change the world in fundamental ways. They vibrate on a naturally high frequency, are able to read others with ease, and have a life's purpose that goes beyond mere personal growth. But what does being a Lightworker mean for your relationships and career? How can you tell whether you have the major Lightworker characteristics, and how can you ultimately use this information to work out what sort of life you should pursue? Perhaps you're already asking, am I a Lightworker? This is common after reading a little about Lightworkers. Or, maybe you've just always felt that there is something different about you and you're trying to understand what that might be. This guide to the nature of Lightworkers will help you make sense of the different types that exist and will provide you with an outline that will allow you to assess whether you might be a Lightworker. Lightworker meaning. Let's start by taking a closer look at what it means to be a Lightworker. According to a basic Lightworker definition, such people have what you might call a global mission. So, in addition to having a pursuit with respect to their own fulfillment, they have a mission to help other people or the world more broadly. Consequently, Lightworkers typically feel a strong, consistent urge to use their resources to assist others, and are better at doing so than average. They are often the default advice giver in their group of friends and may be known for their healing skills. This is usually obvious even from a very young age. Lightworkers are often recognized as unusually perceptive and loving beings even in early childhood. Relatedly, Lightworkers tend to have a highly refined faculty of empathy that allows them to easily pick up on subtle changes in moods and feelings around them. Although this is incredibly useful, this particular skill can be quite overwhelming to the Lightworker. They may struggle sometimes to differentiate between their own emotions and those that belong to other people. The sensitivity of Lightworkers means they need to be especially aware of the potential for burnout. In turn, they must try to remember that they cannot fulfill their global mission if their resources are spent. Am I a Lightworker? If you're wondering whether you or someone you care about is a Lightworker, you likely have a lot of questions about what this means for your life going forward. For example, some people ask things like, do Lightworkers get married, concerned that having a global mission means that they can't form deep relationships or build families of their own. In truth, most Lightworkers can combine their mission with their personal fulfillment. It's possible to meet the goals of a Lightworker while having a full, happy life. Types of Lightworkers. While the above description will roughly fit all Lightworkers, there are specific subtypes that have their own characteristics and capacities. There are 8 main types of Lightworkers. Each one relates to different sorts of global missions, though all share a unique, heightened level of sensitivity and a set of capabilities that can change the world. If you think you are a Lightworker, the following list can function as a basic Lightworker type quiz. Look out for your own talents and traits in the following descriptions. In addition, be aware that it's possible to be a hybrid of more than one type. 1. The Gatekeepers. The Gatekeepers are Lightworkers who work to ensure that love can continue to move throughout the world. They are aware that requires hard work, openness, and dedication, and this gatekeeping job is incredibly important. Without the gatekeepers, the flow of love can become blocked and spirituality may be deadened or muted. In terms of a global mission, gatekeepers are often drawn to jobs in which they can promote equality, peace, and compassion. This may be at the level of government, or on a smaller scale. For example, some gatekeepers are yoga or meditation teachers, or they may be family mediators. 2. The Healers. As noted at the outset, the healing power of Lightworkers can be phenomenal. Those who are of the healer subtype are even more capable of healing, and often need to spend only a little time with others in order to make an enormous difference to their emotional pain. Of course, this increased capacity for healing also comes with even greater sensitivity. Therefore, healers are particularly vulnerable to becoming overwhelmed by others. However, once they learn to moderate this, they are hugely effective. Common Lightworker jobs for healers include those in the caring professions, such as medicine, nursing, childcare, and psychology. 3. The Messengers. Lightworkers who are messengers, also sometimes called guides, have a special talent for communicating important messages to the world around them. Their global mission is to use this skill to spread messages of love and enlightenment, boosting the collective vibration of mankind. There are many different ways in which this can manifest. Some messengers are public figures and motivational speakers, or they may be life coaches. Others are artists, writers, and musicians whose creative output carries their messages to their listeners and viewers. Regardless of the medium, messengers are incredibly persuasive and charismatic individuals who use their powers for positive change. 4. The Seers. Any Lightworker Bible makes inevitable reference to the seer type, which is associated with intuitive and predictive powers that allow these Lightworkers to see into the future. Once they learn how to use these abilities, they can develop a clear image of where they need to go in order to induce the most significant positive outcomes. Then, they can help to set others on the right path as well. Seers can struggle with the responsibility that goes along with knowing the outcome of their choices, but they typically grow into individuals who spread harmony, encourage authenticity and create a huge amount of change at a very fast rate. 5. The Neutralizers. For neutralizers, key Lightworker characteristics include turning the bad into something good. They are known for facing the darkness in the world head-on, and for finding a way to make it productive, light and positive. On a personal level, this means that neutralizers can tackle virtually any challenge that life brings their way, even if the situation seems hopeless at first look. Meanwhile, with respect to global mission, the neutralizer is one of the most powerful figures when it comes to making the best of humanity's mistakes. They often feel a pull toward crisis management jobs, work in places of high conflict, or join the emergency services. 6. The Dreamers. The Dreamer is a Lightworker who never just accepts things the way they are. Rather, this person believes in a limitless capacity for transformation, both at the physical and spiritual levels, and constantly pushes boundaries. Dream Lightworkers are almost always on a journey, whether literal or metaphorical, as these individuals become restless if they are stuck in the same place for too long. They are often pioneers, inventors, and explorers. Their global mission involves broadening humanity's horizons in a wide range of ways. In times when it seems as though all possible options have been pursued, these Lightworkers generate new solutions and new perspectives. 7. The Adventurers. Adventurers are Lightworkers who are always searching for something more, driven by an underlying sense that something important is sitting just out of sight. Like dreamers, they play a vital role in ensuring that people do not give up, and in broadening humanity's vision for the future. The crucial contribution made by adventurers is that even when life seems good, they never give up the idea that it can still be even better. Consequently, they never settle for the mediocre or they're merely satisfactory. Adventurer Lightworkers play a major role in ensuring our civilization is on a constant upward trajectory. 8. The Manifestors. The powers of Lightworkers are uniquely suited to using the law of attraction. Never is this truer than it is in the case of the Manifestor subtype. These Lightworkers can see the intricate truths about our reality, both at a broad level and in terms of intricate connections. They are adept at using their innate energy to get anything that they want. Often, their global mission of world improvement means that they use this ability for the good of others. Manifestors are often spiritual leaders and teachers, helping to model the techniques and approaches that can allow others to manifest their goals. Lightworker traits. 7 signs you are a Lightworker. Now that you have a deeper understanding of what it means to be a Lightworker and what the different types of Lightwork involve, we can move on to specific signs you are a Lightworker. Of course, as indicated in the previous section, Lightworker traits can vary by type, but there are certain characteristics that most have in common. As we go through each identifying characteristic, we'll look at some specific examples of how these traits might manifest. Think of this list as a Lightworker test of sorts. The more items on the list you recognize, the more likely it is that you are a Lightworker. 1. Lightworkers are healers. Even if you're not of the healer subtype of Lightworkers, generally facilitating healing is a strong sign that you are a Lightworker of some sort. This will often manifest in how well you relate to other people and how they respond to your empathy. However, being adept at healing your own wounds is also an indication that you have Lightworker capacities. So, if you know what resources you need to use when you've been hurt and have a track record of growing out of pain, you may have a global mission that involves healing more broadly. The healing associated with Lightwork is often linked to physical touch. In this way, you may notice that your loved ones seem to find peace and acceptance when you hug them or hold their hands. 2. They trust in spiritual practices. For the average Lightworker, ascension to a higher plane is of great significance. As such, having a strong sense of faith in spiritual practices is a sign that you may be skilled at lightwork. This doesn't necessarily mean that all Lightworkers are religious. Although some do commit to specific religions, it's much more common to follow a more individualized approach to spirituality. So, if you find that you often pick and choose different aspects of spiritual and religious traditions, adapting them for your own purposes, you might have the type of innate spirituality that is associated with being a Lightworker. In practice, this spirituality often manifests in a general faith in the universe, and in a deep, satisfying sense of your place in the wider world. 3. Lightworkers are natural manifestors. Another significant entry on the list of signs of being a Lightworker relates to an unusual level of competence with the law of attraction. For most people, learning to manifest takes time, effort and energy. Often, great results appear only after a period of sustained growth. However, if you're a Lightworker, you may find that you just naturally pick up techniques like creative visualization and positive thinking, quickly manifesting the things that you want to appear in your life. While law of attraction experts note that anyone can achieve this level of competence in time, this type of early development is a crucial sign that you may be some type of Lightworker. You can use this gift to manifest incredible change for others as well as yourself. 4. You always seek the truth and deeper meaning. Lightworkers don't tend to feel satisfied with superficial or basic explanations. Instead, they're always looking a step further than the average individual, asking why, and giving a great deal of thought to the underlying meaning in all experiences. You may notice this particular trait sets you apart from others in conversations. It may give you a greater degree of patience and focus than the people around you typically exhibit. Alongside this natural curiosity is a commitment to finding and understanding the truth, even if it's confronting. Lightworkers tend to be honest with themselves and others and can detect self-deception very quickly. This puts you in an excellent person to know yourself, identify your needs and pursue your life purpose, and contributes to your ability to manifest through the law of attraction. 5. Sensitivity. As briefly mentioned at the outset, one of the characteristics of Lightworkers is sensitivity to the world around them. You will be able to tell if there is dissonance between what someone says and how someone feels. Similarly, you can quickly pick up on what people want from you. As a result, people probably gravitate towards you and find you to be a tremendously valuable resource in their lives. You will likely be thought of as a natural counselor, an authority on human nature, and a font of wisdom when it comes to difficult questions. However, you may also sometimes feel used or drained at times. Lightworkers don't always assert their own emotional needs when there's a chance to put others first. 6. You feel close to nature. Most Lightworkers feel at peace and recharged when they're in nature. Therefore, if you gravitate to the countryside or the sea, then this is an indication that you have an inclination towards some type of light work. As well as being energized by nature, it's common for Lightworkers to notice that nature responds to them. For example, wild animals may approach you, and you may be particularly good at growing things. Again, this type of talent owes to the fact that you're deeply in tune with the world around you, vibrating on a frequency that connects with your world. This aspect of you will also mean that you are deeply hurt by damage or ignorance people display about nature. Plus, you may feel an inclination to campaign for the environment. 7. You may be an outcast or loner. Finally, although there are many undeniable benefits associated with being a Lightworker, one of the most difficult aspects of this identity is that Lightworkers often feel like outcasts. You may have grown up feeling different and may have struggled to be understood. Often, this is because your deep understanding of the universe means that people inevitably know and understand less than you do, and so may not relate to you very well. Typically, Lightworkers find that others get a lot from them but that they get less from other people. Thankfully, this often changes when Lightworkers meet each other. The profound connection between two Lightworkers can be life-changing. It can lead to business partnerships and romantic relationships that are intuitive, satisfying and based on deep mutual understanding. Free gift in description.